Welcome to Pucknology After Dark. Well, the Sharks start off on a strong note, winning the home opener 2-1 against the LA Kings. If you want to be part of the show, please use the hashtag PucknologyAD, not Pucknology After Dark. Unfortunately, Mr. Kura did not give me the updated graphics, so we're using the Stanley Cup
Epic fail.
graphics. Epic fail. And if you didn't already know, we are sponsored by Audible.com. We've partnered with them to offer a free 30-day trial. You can choose from over 180,000 audiobooks and get a free audiobook to keep, whether you choose to continue using the service or not. Go to audibletrial.com/pod to sign up. That's audible.com/PAD. So, gentlemen, how do you do? Mr. AJ Strong?
I do damn good, but let's talk to the guy who's actually there, shall we?
Let's throw it to Puck Guy himself. Puck Guy?
Wait, how did you get home so quickly? Holy
Light,
crap.
light speed, my brother, light speed.
And Uber. All right. Well, good evening, guys. We're taking the nice long not walk of shame from West Santa Clara Street with everybody around. Sharks win 2-1. Somewhat of a playoff atmosphere, of course, when it's LA. It always is. Definitely a great atmosphere, great light. Pre-game show put on by the crew. I was outside, massive, outside like playoff style, unbelievable pre-game show. The unveiling of the conference banner was awesome. What wasn't awesome was how the Sharks started tonight, and wasn't pretty, but hey, last season started out not pretty with the goal early on Jones, and the season turned out pretty okay. They seemed like they had a little bit of a slow start, but then they picked it up once they got that goal, and sure enough, once or were we giving that to Couture on that first goal? Things seemed to turn around, and sure enough, they got in Quick's head, and then apparently we're hearing that it might be a long-term injury for Jonathan Quick, according to NBCSN. Is that correct, guys?
I haven't seen anything on Twitter yet that's confirmed. I'm sure we'll hear something from the post game from Daryl Sutter, but I mean, as much as we hate the LA Kings, and as much as we would love to see Dustin Brown go out on a long-term IR, that's a bad thing to see quick, but nothing definitive at this point yet on Twitter, and I'm sure we probably won't hear anything until tomorrow. And if Eric could pick me up a churro off of that cart that was just sounding this horn, I would appreciate it.
Hey, and also say hi to the jazz trumpet guy that's sitting underneath the, what is that, the 87?
87.
Yep.
And there we go. Let's point out one thing too. Oh, here we go.
Hey, Sharks.
That's atmosphere you wouldn't get it from any other show.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, I just want to point out one thing, just to touch on something that Puck Guy said was he talked about the unveiling of the Western Conference banner. The one of the cool giveaways tonight, the Western Conference banner. But the best part, I swear to God, I think fans, knows how to party. Okay. I think the fans seem to be like, they were really psyched to see the Western Conference champions banner, but walking around, listening to fans, they almost seemed more excited at the fact that the two banners that were up there that said Western Conference regular season champion banners were gone. Boom. Adios. So good on the Sharks for that. I'm really happy they got rid of those, because that was such a consolation prize in my mind.
It was kind of like it was kind of like the trophy that everybody got at the end of the year, where it was just like, you tried, here you go.
Yeah, it was miscongeniality. It was like a participation banner.
Precipitation ribbon. Just before we get into it, guys, I also wanted to encourage any new viewers to please go ahead and subscribe down below. And also check out our other podcasts. Mr. AJ Strong hosts a companion sister podcast we like to call the Pucknologists. And you can get that on iTunes. You can also get it on a multitude of other devices. I think you can get it on the Google Play Store and
Dude, we're
SoundCloud.
everywhere, dude. SoundCloud, Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio. Ian Reed has the media hookup.
And we'd also like you to check out the Pucknology's Writer Room. There, you'll get some really in-depth, on the editing floor kind of material. That one's headed up by Ian Reed and Mr. Kevin Lacey himself. Well, getting into the game, I think we can all kind of agree that the Sharks had a little bit of rust. Took maybe 10 minutes for them to get their feet going in, but they kind of came on in waves, and we saw the Sharks pressure style that we saw last year, and not really too much of a drop-off, guys.
Go ahead, Jen.
Because I'm sorry, but like, I hate to say this, but I was kind of watching this game on mute on my phone during a staff meeting, and I celebrated like hell when Couture got that power play goal, so almost got fired for that. So,
Attaboy.
but yeah, I thought that when you're watching the game, it kind of seemed like the Kings had the early advantage. They got that quick goal. And I mean, honestly, that was a beauty of a shot from Toffoli. You got to give him credit for that. Just found that tiny bit of area to
Dude,
get.
that was such a sneaker.
Yeah, that was a snipe. So I will give the Kings credit for that one. What a goal. And and honestly, it was it was nice to see Devin Setaguchi back on the ice. He looked good tonight. He was in the play. But okay, enough praise about the Kings because we all hate them anyway. So, but let's get to the Sharks. Wow, what a game! Yeah, it took them 10 minutes to get into it, but good God, that momentum shifted right after that Couture power play goal. It shifted and it just kept going into the Sharks' favor. And then it carried into the second, and then the third, and God, it led to that sweet game winner from the Wookiee himself, the man who's going to get paid in the offseason, whether it's by the Sharks or by another team.
Well, let's just quickly get into that for everybody who does not know or hasn't kept up with us over the off season. The Sharks have 3 pending unrestricted free agents. That would be Mr. Shark himself, Patrick Marleau, Joe Thornton, and Brent Burns. I think we can all safely bet that the extension talks are ongoing for Mr. Brent Burns, and the pocketbook is open, and the blank check is sitting there. It's just waiting for some 7s and maybe some 0s. I would.
Yeah, but you know what though? You better put your John Hancock on that check pretty quick before the Norris Trophy goes in the trophy case. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean there was literally no drop off from Burnsie tonight.
And now we go live to Santa Clara Street and Puck Guy on the scene.
Hey, like I
And then
said,
he turns off his mic. What a
it's been-
tool!
Yeah. I'm going to say this, and this is my conspiracy theory about the whole Brent Burns extension, is that I feel that the Sharks and Brent Burns have come to a mutual agreement. They just haven't signed it yet because I think they're waiting until after the expansion draft. But once that happens, they don't have to protect him, and once the expansion draft goes through, they probably have Brent Burns with an automatic contract. Say, here you go. Because I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to protect a couple more players and go from there. But I think of all the unrestricted free agents that are going to be gone after this season, I still think it's going to be number 12.
I happen to agree.
I mean, how could anybody disagree with that just based on what we saw from last season? I think so. The only thing that worries me is that maybe Wilson has a huge desire to have it, to maybe be at the helm when you have the first lifelong Shark wire to wire from draft to retire.
Yeah.
I mean that's going to be a big allure. I mean you're going to basically parallel him to Nicholas Lidstrom in Detroit as far as longevity of a player and sticking with one franchise. But I mean, you're gonna wonder how much Patrick Marleau is gonna ask. I mean, it probably not out of the realm of possibility. He'll probably be asking for $4 million over 2 years, so $8 million for 2 years.
Not worth it.
I don't think
We
so.
didn't pay
No.
Boyle that much for the last 2 years of his deal. They're not going to give it to
God.
Marlowe.
Get
But
off. But Boyle didn't take a life-threatening hit from LePerrier, dude.
Yeah, he
but
And
was.
Boyle,
honestly,
well, hold on. Boyle also wasn't a lifelong shark. I'm telling you, there's something about that. They want a lifelong shark to go from draft to retire. I'm telling you, I feel like Marlowe's going to be that guy. I think they can do 2 years at 3.8. Now, do I want that to happen? No, honestly, unless Marlowe comes up with something spectacular this year, and he should have a pretty decent season, seeing that, okay, maybe he's playing third-minute lines, but he's not going to be seeing matchups from the top defenses. So hopefully he has a great year and makes, I mean, this is a contract year, and we know what certain people play, you know, how they'll do. They'll just play out of their minds for a contract. So the most I would do is like 3.5 to 3.8, maybe 2 years. Maybe you do, okay, we're going to do 1 year at 4 million, and we'll have an option for, oh my God, get the truck. Eric, put it back on the truck. Oh my God, that's the best truck.
Oh, that's the shark truck. We need to get.
Put the camera on.
There it is. There it is. The shark truck.
I love that truck. He added neon. That's so fantastic.
Oh yeah, no, I saw him last year too. He's always up and down Santa Clara Street.
Yeah, we need to find the hashtag for the truck and make sure he gets some love. But let me get out of here, guys, really quick, because I think I'm overstepping my boundaries. But Marlowe, yeah, he better be smart and not be asking for too much. But I can't see him signing anywhere else. But I think more than anything, we need to start publicizing a countdown chart, because he's going to possibly get to 500 tonight or this season.
Yeah, I can't see him signing with anybody else, but I can't see the Sharks re-signing him without a significant discount. So it should be interesting to watch how this whole year and following summer progresses.
So, segue from Patty's contract to Patty's play tonight. What do you guys think of him? I mean, it looked like he was around the puck a little bit tonight. It looks like he had some shots on goal. To me, his shot looks weaker. I don't know about you guys.
I thought his cross eyes pass to Ward was I was kind of like hitting my screen. I was like, come on, dude. It's not that, like, he's made passes like that before with little effort, but for just some reason he just couldn't put it on stick, and that would have been an instant, goal right then and there. He just kind of seemed, yeah, he was around the puck, but he wasn't making the best use of it.
Hey, look, it's Rocket.
Rocket.
What's up, Rocket?
What's up, Rocket?
Hi.
All right,
She's the
bye,
other half of the Pucknologists.
No, and you got to know, Eric, watch out, dude. She will introduce you to the incredible bars that are along San Pedro right down there. She knows them well.
That's great, but unfortunately, I'm getting ready to head down to Quackenheim for Disneyland. So I will take care, and you guys have a great night. And we'll keep it wheel. We'll keep it fresh, and we'll keep it wheel fresh.
Hey, Eric, do me a favor, Eric. Don't blow all that Wheel of Fortune money down in LA, okay, bro?
Hey,
Eric.
hit me up. Hit me up when you're in SoCal, all right?
Eric, hang on.
Right.
For the $56,000 question, did you score me an extra banner tonight?
No, you're buying me
Find out when I get back.
All right, baking a pie.
Baking a pie.
Hashtag baking a pie. All right.
Hashtag pie money.
What a tool. All he had to do was say yes. That's all he had to do, say yes.
Or he can just drive down to AJ's where he's got like 11 billion of them.
That's
That is
right,
very
dude. I already told him, man. I'm like, I got you.
Gotcha. All right. Have a good night, guys.
All right, peace out, Buckeye.
1-0.
Yep.
1-0. That is definitely true. So
now let's
back to Patty.
Okay, back to Patty. I'll actually, I think we've kind of addressed it. He had an okay game, a couple of missed passes here and there. He was around the puck. but just kind of didn't seem like he was all in into it. I don't think he really likes playing on that third line. I think he kind of feels like he's been, demoted, and rightfully so.
AJ,
What was the question?
Patrick Marleau's play tonight. What'd you think?
I mean, it probably could have been a little bit better, but we need to probably see him develop some chemistry with Tierney. I don't know. Marlowe is just such an enigma, and I don't think that that's all his fault because it's like, okay, we want you to play center, we want you to play wing, we want you to play center, we want you to play wing. I think we already know that he has a decent bit of chemistry with Wardo. Let's give him 5-10 games with a continuous line. Tierney, Ward, Marlowe. Let's see what they do. Like I said, they're going to be facing easier defensive matchups, you would think. So let's see what they show us in the next 5 to 10 games with the matchups, especially on this roadie. I think that it's always easier to develop chemistry when you're on the road and you don't have all the home distractions. So I'm down with that. Let's see what happens.
We've got an update from the Kings beat writer Lisa Dillman. She writes that the injury is not good. That's the quote. So whatever that means, I'm guessing it's probably going to be. I'm guessing it's a pulled groin. They showed the replay on NBCSN, and he looked like he came up at I guess it was the last shift of the first period. When he was going post to post, he kind of looked like he pulled up a little bit funny on that groin, and I would not be surprised if he either pulled something or teared something.
I think maybe he might have had a little after dark meeting with Donald Trump, who probably grabbed him by the whats.
Oh, hey now, let's not go there. But you know what? The thing for me is I was looking for Quick to maybe kind of like bounce back from the tournament because I didn't think much of him in the tournament. I didn't think he looked that great. And I don't think he looked that great tonight. I mean, are we seeing the decline of Jonathan Quick finally?
Oh, and MRI is scheduled for tomorrow. Sorry, just to.
I think we've been seeing the decline of Jonathan Quick for the past couple of years. I think last playoff year was it showed that he's not the same Jonathan Quick that everybody says that he is. He's gone from being elite to like an okay goaltender, and I think tonight, I think the Sochi, the playoff series against the Sharks last year, the World Cup, and tonight were just all kind of the signs. The signs are there that Jonathan Quick's demise is at hand. And
and I'm relishing it.
yes, I'm just sitting there going yes. But I think a lot of it, he pulled his groin. I mean, that sucks. I as much as but he also threw his his typical
his
quick
hissy fit?
his
Yeah.
little hissy fit, going after Pavelski because he didn't.
Dude, he just wanted an autograph, man. He just wanted an autograph. It's okay.
Hey, I want an autograph from a future 40 goal scorer, okay?
Yeah, but but if you look at it like that, it's just, and the team in front of him really didn't play all that well either. I think what we're starting to see is the fact that this year they have so much money tied up into some of their key pieces. You have Kopitar getting $10 million this year. You have Doughty with 7. You have Jeff Carter with 5 something, and then you have Dustin Brown with over $5 million.
That's got to be the best contract in the NHL.
Yeah,
Dude,
and look what's happening. And look what's happening is that they can't get depth pieces, and it showed. I mean, the fact that they had to. Like as I said, great to see Devin Setaguchi back in the NHL. He's not that 30 goal scorer that he was when he was playing with Jumbo.
And you know what? Just real quick, I just want to do a quick promo. I know we have a lot of watchers on the Pucknology, sorry, I'm already confused. On Pucknology After Dark. Watch out for the cross branding. We love all the watchers on Pucknology After Dark, everything post game. But do me a favor, listen to the podcast, the Week in Review now, the formerly Teal Tinted Glasses, now the Pucknologist with me and Rocket. And I'm going to put this out there right now. Go to Twitter, follow at Pucknologist. And if you're a beer drinker, okay, You have to follow us on the Pucknologists, and I'm gonna ask a question maybe on the next episode of the Pucknologists. And if you're a beer drinker, I'm gonna give this away. This is basically a chum jersey, a Sharks chum jersey. It even says 00 chum on the back, but a Sharks chum jersey. I'm gonna do that I'm gonna come up with some sort of giveaway, but you have to follow us on the puck at Pucknologists and listen to it, and you'll figure out how to get that. Back to you, Landy.
Oh man, it starts. All right, so just kind of combing through the comments in the Google chat. By the way, we do read those. So if you put a hashtag in there, it makes it a little bit easier for me. But somebody said that second line is pure sex. I'd have to agree. That second line was so damn good.
Dude, and how good dude, Donskoy is filthy. He's almost obscene, okay? And you get him and Bodker with good dude, when that line finds chemistry, which I think is going to happen in about 2 games, holy cannoli, that they are going to be the most fun second line in hockey to watch. I don't even care, man. Dude, Donskoy, he's just nasty.
Oh, I agree. I thought that was the best line of tonight. They were driving possession. They were creating a lot of chances. Good God, I can't wait. Like, Boddicker had a couple of good chances, but Donskoy and Couture are just continuing that chemistry that they had all through the playoffs, and it's showing. And thank God, because it's giving us something exciting to watch. And you see that speed, and that's why I've been saying when we signed Boddicker, it's like, oh, there's your second line left winger for Donskoy and her Couture. That is just that line. Give it time, and it's going to be a steal.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that honestly, Bodker just brings that extra gear that we haven't seen since maybe Marlowe's heyday. And it's been a while since Patty's had that extra blowback kind of speed, but man, it is good. And I think that Donskoy is actually going to become the playmaker of that line. And it kind of loosens up Couture's responsibility being the playmaker, which is good because honestly, I think Couture is probably a better finisher on that line. So you've got the playmaker, which is Donskoy, which is not normally a winger, but in this case, I think Donskoy really is the one that drives the play. And you've got 2 really good snipers in Couture and in Bodker.
Yeah, I don't know that the Sharks have ever had kind of like that 1-2 punch, especially. I mean, on the first line, yeah, there's been a lot of whether you put like you want to talk about like Freeze and Nolan and Damfoos, whatever. You've never seen this kind of 1-2 punch from the Sharks on the second line.
No, I agree with that. I think it's going to be a sample for them, and this is what and this is in Bodker. It was that kind of key element that was missing for the Sharks in the Stanley Cup final. If we would have had that speed, we could have been able to match it. And another, factor that I really liked seeing tonight was Schlemko. I thought he had a pretty impressive game playing with Dylan. I thought he would, despite a couple of mishaps here and there, but he had a solid game. He looked very comfortable with Dylan, and that's good. And that's a sign of good things to come.
Well, I mean that's a really good segue because I think Bodker, not Bodker, but Schlemko on that Dylan pairing does not become a possession sinkhole anymore. That pair can actually drive some play now, and can actually keep the puck in at the blue line. Just don't ask Dylan to shoot it from the blue line, please. I mean, how many blocks did we see from that tonight? Just, you know what? Just give it to your partner. I'm sure he can wrist it all the way through. That's why we got him. So, I mean, what did you think about the third pair tonight, AJ?
You're poking the bear, man. You're poking the bear. You know how I feel about Dylan. Don't poke the bear.
Well, let's just open it up. Let's just open up that sardine can ever so slightly. What
I'm just.
Impressions?
Oh dear Lord. I just want to see. I understand. Okay, Dylan, he's a younger guy. What is he now? Like 24, 25. He's got what 3 years left, 3 years left on the deal. I just think about a guy in his position, a 5'6" guy getting 3.8 per. I think that's just gross overpayment. And if you saw like his game, like okay, 2 seasons ago or whatever, we saw Braun. Braun did not finish 2 seasons ago strong at all. And he was online to have his extension kick in and was getting basically a fat ass raise, like double, almost damn near double what he was making before. And it was like, really, that's what we're going to pay this guy. And you know what? Braun had a pretty good year last year, and you saw consistent improvement game over game. Yeah, he would still make the occasional brain fart. Show me the guy who doesn't. Every professional athlete is going to eat it once in a while, but Braun consistently got better. The whole time that I've watched Dylan's game, I haven't seen it get better. And that's why I am still going to ride that horse all the way home, that we're going to, at some point this season, DeMello is going to get a look with Schlemko on the 5'6" pair. I'm sorry. I just
All right,
feel
you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
No, you heard it on the Pucknologist first, but okay.
All right, well, you heard it on a Pucknology family podcast first. Mr. AJ Strong says that Dylan will not play all 82 games and will be replaced by Dylan DeMello. So
I don't know. I just feel that way. Can we talk about the in-game experience tonight?
Yeah, well, you know what? You were at the game, so take the floor.
Okay, so had the big rally tonight along Autumn Street next to the tank, just like they did for all the postseason games, and as they've done for special events before. We had the big inflated shark head that you walk through, and in the beer tent and the swag tent to buy all the merch. And at the very end, we had the CSN on location thing with, holy crap. I thought CSN sent basically everybody that was employed. I mean, you had Kozamore, Randy Hahn, Jamie Baker, Kevin Kurz, Ray Ratto, Brody Brazil, Brett Hedekin. I mean, it was a murderer's row of talent from CSN out there, which was really nice to see that they were really celebrating the opener. I really enjoyed watching that. The Sharks appeared to have added some extra metal detectors, so hopefully that helps get people in a little bit quicker. The line was still pretty long, but I will say it did move very quickly. I'll give the Sharks that. Kind of bummed out that there were no mystery pucks tonight. This is maybe one of the first home openers that I can remember, and I don't know how long that there weren't mystery pucks to purchase. I don't know if the 50-50 raffle has kind of like taken that over with regards to the Sharks Foundation, because if I remember correctly, all of the money from mystery pucks went to the Sharks Foundation. But I was kind of bummed that there was a lot of fans actually that were bummed that there were no mystery pucks. And there's something else I'm kind of on the fence about bringing up, but I think it's benign enough that we can talk about it. During the playoffs last season, when we had the watch parties at the tank, and I believe they even had these out for rallies when it wasn't a watch party. It was actually all the games at the tank. When they would do a rally for every game on Autumn Street, they had a tent that had a backdrop, not unlike my own. There was a few more Sharks logos and stuff on there, but it was a backdrop like you see behind the players and the coaches when they're doing their post game, and you could take a picture with that, and they would email it to you and everything, and it's an awesome thing. Tonight they had that backdrop, but it was only available to you if you were a season ticket holder, which I thought was I understand giving season ticket holders preferential treatment for certain things, like they're allowed early entrance and an express line and all that. But for something as benign as like a photo backdrop, I just thought, I don't know, seemed a little ticky-tacky to me. But hey, if it helps to if it's one more thing to keep the season ticket holders happy and to continue purchasing, you go with it, man.
You know what? Okay, this is all I will say about the whole season ticket holder thing and the preferential treatment, which should be there. However, I think that the Sharks need to do a better job of not letting the general public know about the inside 365 get gotchas and really like all the perks.
Yeah, but
I
you
think
can't do that with social media because the 365 people will get on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and they'll either say, "Oh my God, we had today." I was talking to a season ticket holder that asked me because I guess they assumed that I was a season ticket holder. They said, "Hey, you're going to be here tomorrow at the meet and greet," and I was like, "What meet and greet?" And they're like, "All the season ticket holders, there's a meet and greet here tomorrow," and I was like, "I had no idea." So, I mean, the word's going to get around for stuff like that. That's all.
yeah, I totally agree, but I think we're starting to see now where there's a real separation between whether or not you have season tickets or whether or not you're just going to the game on a ticket by ticket basis.
Yep.
And I think we've also seen the what's the best word? I guess it's like the I think they are really segregating out the Shark Pack holders.
It's kind of like a haves and have not type of
It
thing.
exactly. And so, I'm from San Diego, so we have the Padres here, and the way that they do it is they have one whole umbrella season ticket holder thing. You're part of the Padres club or whatever. And then you have different tiers. You have a silver, a gold, and a bronze. And everybody, gets access to a certain amount of season ticket bennies. And then the more that you spend or the more tickets that you have, the better the bennies packages gets. And I think that if the Sharks adopted something more like that, where it's not just black and white, you either have 365 or you don't, or it's 365 or get out. I I think that they would be better served by having a season ticket base where you can be eligible, and maybe make it like a gold, a silver, and a teal if you've had season tickets longer than X amount of years. You
Well, that's
know,
what I've actually heard is that they are granting certain things based on tenure.
it, yes, I've heard that as well, but I think the overarching theme that I'm hearing is that it's way black and white. It's either you've got it or you
Mhm.
don't.
Yeah.
And they really need to do away with that because you're going to have a lot of people that kind of want to have a little bit of the perks but don't want to have the whole bloat of a 41 game home, you know, home stretch where they've got to go to 41 games. I mean, not everybody can do that. Not everybody can afford that. So if you can just give them a little bit here and there and you sprinkle it around, I think it'd definitely do a lot to kind of deaden that blow that a lot of people have come to me talking about and just saying, hey, it's so black and white. It's not any kind of tiered system. So that's what I would do. That's all I really want to comment about it because I mean,
Can I finish this off real quick?
yeah, go for it.
I totally agree with what you're saying. The only thing that I find just a scotch irritating, and the only reason being is because of the precedent that has been set by the Sharks. They're doing a Dan Boyle. I'm sure Gentry already has his ticket, but they're the Dan Boyle honoring versus Anaheim on October 25th, and they put single game tickets went on sale. Whatever it was 4 weeks ago. You had 3 weeks or so to purchase all the single games that you wanted to go to. If you're not a Shark Pack holder, Sixplex, whatever. And I purchased tickets for a few different games, the Dan Boyle game being one of them. And then, of course, the day after his retirement, they designate that game against Anaheim as Dan Boyle night. And we're going to have a Dan Boyle alumni shirt, just like they did last year with Ray Whitney and Friesen and Sturm and, Nabokov, all the usual suspects. And so my question was, well, what if you already have tickets to this game, but you would like that Boyle shirt because you were a huge fan of Boyle, you would like to get that. Will it be available for purchase? And evidently, no. It's just kind of, if you already have tickets for that, your only real option is to sell your tickets and buy new tickets for that include that promotion. And I could understand that if there was no precedent set by the Sharks previously. But 2 years ago, the Sharks did Metallica Night, which featured a shirt. If you bought the special ticket, you got the Metallica shirt with the Sharks. But they also had the Metallica shirt available for sale that night. And last year when they did Ray Whitney, you could get the shirt if you bought the special ticket, or you could purchase the shirt separately. And that's my whole thing, is that I just want to be able to purchase that Boyle shirt separately, because I am a huge Boyle fan, but I already have tickets to the game and they're really good seats and I don't want to give them up. So I would just like them, had they never made those items like available separately before, I would be like, okay, well, that's just the way it is. But the fact that they've done it before, but they're not doing it now, it's just kind of a bummer. That's all. That's my only thing that I'm bumming. And so, rather than, handing over my 20 or 25 bucks to the Sharks Foundation for one of the shirts, I'm going to be like Eric in San Diego or Ian in Canada, who wants one of those shirts but can't get to the game. I'm going to be on eBay. I'd rather give my money to the Sharks Foundation and get one, but I'll be on eBay or offer up or whatever, however I can get that shirt. But I would much rather give my money to the Sharks for it. And that's the end of my rant. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, like I said before, I think they, just to kind of put a bow on it, they've overcorrected. I mean, I think a lot of season ticket holders have said that they wanted perks and bennies and things like that. They did that, but they way overcorrected. I think they way overcorrected, and I think that it needs to be a little bit more of a happy medium. But that's all I kind of want to go on that. Just a little bit of a in-game experience update for everyone. How was getting into the game? Was the scanners okay? I mean, from that kind of perspective, how were the ops?
For that, well, like I said, and I think we brought this up in a previous cast. It seems pretty apparent that the introduction of the scanners should help free up the blue coats to maybe they're not going to need as many. Right now, they do essentially have a blue coat on every scanner to help people get used to the rhythm of it and to get through the process. And I'm sure a third to a half of the way through the season, they'll probably be able to eliminate half of those blue coats, because everybody will just know that it's, because I mean, I walked in and it was like, here's you just throw the ticket under, doop, boom, you're on. And what's really funny is that I forget what the promotion was that was in game. They actually, the sound that the scanner makes when you scan your ticket, they actually used that sounder during intermission for some sort of promotion. Holy hell, is that noise loud? I'm just saying, it's a I mean, it's so loud. But no.
So did they fix the speakers? Because that was an issue that we were having last year, was that you could not hear the first goal song that we submitted, and that you could barely hear the second one. So did they?
The speakers for the most part pretty much sound the same. You hear Danny Miller very well. All the announcements, you can hear Danny really well. The promotional people, when they do those stoppages in play, where they do the Orchard Supply contest, all the vocal stuff you can hear very well. The warm-up music, like I said, the speakers seem to be tuned perfectly to like EDM music. But I don't know if it's just a bad mix of get ready for this or anything, or maybe they just need to turn it up. I don't know, but I didn't notice a significant difference. But one more thing to work on. They've certainly worked on a lot of other things. Added a new, they added iguanas burritos to the concourse, which is very nice. And okay, so for those of you who remember way back in the day, they used to have there was the Zamboni races on the screen.
Yeah, I remember that.
And there was also there was I think it was like a taco. There was some sort of promotion where the LED band between the first and second levels, there would be like a taco going around, and there would be a fin chasing after it, and wherever the fin caught up to it, like that section would get like coupons for a Taco Bell taco or Jack in the Box, whatever it was. Well, now they're doing that for iguanas burrito. So I dig that. But the other thing I should note, the Shark store is a little different now. It's funny. They've taken out some of the abstract things, so it's weird. Like it doesn't seem like there's. It actually seems like there's less stuff to buy, but there's actually like the same, if not more. Their hat display now is like ridiculous. They got a ton of stuff. The other thing that I really like, and they had actually mentioned this about middle of last season, there is a lot more stuff now. Funnily enough, there's a ton more stuff now that you can get with the original Sharks crest.
Nice.
You know, the black and white, the one without the teal toupee. Sure. And even better, and I wish I had an example of it somewhere.
So you're talking
here.
about this one?
Yes, absolutely.
This
yeah, you can buy like 5-6 hats with that logo. There's some shirts with that logo. Also, really cool. There's some shirts with the patch that's on your left shoulder. Without without the WAS.
Yeah. Okay. The original fin out of the water.
Yeah, the circle fin. I've noticed there's a few more items. So they're bringing back like those kind of the original secondary logos, even though they just introduced the third generation of secondary logos. Yeah, there's stuff. I love the fact that they're bringing back some original stuff. And there's also a decent amount of stuff that has the I don't know if you would call it the shark font. Kind of hard to describe without having something here, but it's basically the word sharks in big block print, but it has like teeth that
take out the
on your
pillow.
90s logo look.
You mean the thing that's on your chair right now?
Yes. Oh, there you go. Look, I'm looking for an example, and it's right behind me. Yeah. So that
Nice.
right there.
I haven't seen that in years.
Yeah, no, there's a teal hoodie that it's just black embroidered, like small San Jose, and then all black sharks, just like on my chair. Huge, dude, and that shit is tight.
They were pretty innovative back in the day when they came out with their original logo sets, and it was just a shame you could not get a lot of merch with that stuff. But I'm glad that they've brought it back. I think that definitely the heritage jersey, kind of allure is alive and well, and they can sell a lot of merch.
Yeah.
No, they only went with the heritage jerseys this year as their alternates instead of the black armor, but that's another story altogether.
Yeah.
That would be nice. And I don't know if I brought this up to the audience. We might have some new people watching that aren't aware. I did speak with one of the people at one of the merch desks. They did point out the heritage jerseys that if you go to a Sharks game today, you can purchase a heritage jersey. Get it now, because once they're gone, they're gone. They're not reordering this. They ordered a ton load for last season, and it's easy to see why, because at the game tonight, a ton of heritage jerseys were being rocked all over the place. And I love the fact that they brought that back. I thought that was fantastic. The other thing, too, to point out, just really quickly, you know what? There were hardly any LA fans there tonight.
Oh, that's good. It's good to see the tank health kind of coming back. I think that Stanley Cup run definitely did repair a lot of wounds that were caused. And they sold a hell of a lot of season tickets for people trying to get to the Stanley Cup playoff game.
Absolutely. Yeah, but you know what? I'm afraid that might have bitten him in the butt a little bit, because while it was obviously an announced sellout tonight,
did it have patches?
I mean, not huge patches, but Rocket and I, from where we were sitting, like we were looking at the section across from us, and you could see like 4 seats in this row, 4 seats in 2 rows behind that row, and then 4 seats altogether, 2 rows behind that row. So there were little, patches. So hopefully, that was the thing that we talked about towards the end of whatever. I don't know. I don't even know if it was probably during Pittsburgh, but when you looked at all the people that purchased, season tickets for this year just to go to the playoffs last season, that was the thing we kind of brought up, where it's like, okay, it might be a really good, like a sold out season, but butts actually in the seats, I don't know. We'll see how the season plays out.
Hey,
But
they're
they,
just gonna put more cheap tickets on StubHub for me.
yeah, right. And I'm down with that.
I'm
And
also down
then,
with that.
but they did do the LED bracelets tonight. But these ones actually say Sharks for Life.
Nice.
The ones during
Yeah, then
the ones during the
yeah,
playoffs were blank. There was nothing on them. But I will tell you, the opening ceremony tonight was it was pretty badass. It was it was reminiscent of what they did during the playoffs against St. Louis and Pittsburgh, where they had the LEDs going. But I don't know. It seemed a little more intense during the playoffs, but it was a really good ceremony. But I'm telling you, when they unveiled that banner, oh, and I'm telling you, the people realizing that, hey, those other two regular season banners aren't there anymore. That is awesome.
Yeah.
And I would say easily when they did player introductions, because opening night they go through the entire roster. Um, I hate to say this, I heard some boos when they announced Marlowe's name.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, I thought everybody lost their mind
they're
for
clearly
Thornton.
fans of Pucknology.
Everybody lost their mind for Thornton and Pavelski and Burns, but I'm telling you, I heard some scattered boos from Marlowe. So I really think this is going to be Marlowe's probably most interesting season this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I mean, if he has another, if he can pull out 30 goals and 50 points, I'd be pretty happy with that. Let's kind of wrap up the night in the NHL real quick because I kind of want to get it back to the Sharks and the way that they played tonight.
I heard there was one guy in the NHL that just blew the place apart.
Yeah, so Toronto and
Actually,
Ottawa.
I would go with two. Like one impressive debut, and then another showing for a newly crescent captain
Yeah,
for his
yeah.
team.
So Toronto and Ottawa played earlier tonight. Toronto falling to the Ottawa Senators 4-5.
And
But
this
those
game
four,
was this game in Toronto?
this game was in Ottawa for the first
Okay.
time ever. It was opened up in Ottawa for
I
the
was
first
going to
time
say,
between the meetings of the two teams.
because I heard on Sirius on NHL they were talking about this is opening night against Toronto, and they were commenting that like 5 minutes into the first period, and there were lots of seats that were not filled.
Yeah, yeah. Ottawa's going to have a tough time, but Austin Matthews in his first NHL game, I mean his debut, scores 4 goals. And I mean, I took a look at the highlights. He had a couple that were really nice. Others, I mean, he just getting in behind people and just scoring. And that guy's a man child. He's gonna
Give him the Ross. Give him the Ross now.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, right now that's an impressive debut for a number one pick overall, and I think he is the first number one pick in his debut to score 4 goals, and
Yes.
the third or fourth number one pick overall to get a round one pick overall to get a hat trick in his first game.
First rookie to ever score for 4 goals in his first game. He joins two or three others who had hat tricks, but nobody had 4. That Austin Matthews claims that. And I mean, it was just a really impressive debut.
Meanwhile, Hurdle is like, yeah, that's cute. Let me know when you put a goalie into retirement, bro.
Right, exactly.
I mean, with the way they look tonight, I mean, if Austin Matthews, I mean, Toronto, you guys got a surefire superstar in the making right there. You still need to work on your defense and your goaltending.
Oh, the goaltending sucked, but moving on to St. Louis and Chicago. St. Louis goes into Chicago and takes a big win, 5-2 win. Tarasenko looks like he woke up after the butt whooping we gave him in the Western Conference Finals. So it'll be interesting to see what St. Louis does, but it's going to be interesting between St. Louis and Chicago. I think that they're going to fight for the 2-3 spots with Nashville being the top dog out of there. And then we go to the next, I think, most interesting game to me was the Calgary-Edmonton game. Calgary winning in the Rexall Place debut.
No, was it
No.
Rogers?
Rogers Place, sorry. Rexall is the old place. Rogers Place, sorry. 7-4.
Did you see the pictures of their new facility? Dude,
It is
that
off the
place
hook.
looks Dude, that place looks sick. Just the seating. Did you see how the
Yeah,
seating is? It's colored where it
yeah,
looks like the top half of the logo.
yeah.
Dude. Dude, see, that's thought. That's using the noodle right there.
They did it right when they put that place together. I definitely say that. But boy, I mean, I kind of wanted to go over it because you shift from that to the juxtaposition of the Sharks and the Kings playing a 2-1 game. And when you see all these other scores, you start to think, boy, the California teams, they play that heavy brand of hockey, but I think that the Sharks are kind of transitioning away from that. We saw a lot more speed brought to this lineup, and I think it's going to translate to better success against more variety of opponents. I don't know what you guys think about that, but that's kind of what I'm thinking here is that they can play with the big boys. I mean, they can play with LA or they can play with St. Louis or Anaheim, the guys that like to play that heavy-bodied style. But I think they've got enough weapons now that they're going to be able to play with the Edmontons, the Calgarys, and what other wherever other firepower teams you're going to have, maybe Dallas. But I think that this team's going to translate into a bunch of different styles. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think the speed game definitely got a boost, and I think just those like you never think that two moves can improve a roster so much, but just but having Mikkel Boddicker and Schlemko, who's a good puck moving defenseman, and you have Boddicker, who's known for his speed. Just those right there, it gave you so much depth at. You can now transition Marlowe to a third liner, and then it gives us a little bit more pop on that third line, which we haven't had. And then you can slide in Tierney and give him some wingers who can actually drive possession and go to the net, because Tierney is a good face-off guy and is a great playmaker. But when you have guys that have speed and then you can grind it out like Wardo can, it's going to translate to success with Chris Tierney. And also, I'm going to give a big kudos to Tommy Wingles tonight. He was impressive in the face-off circle as the fourth line center with Carlson and who was his other winger?
Nieto.
Nieto.
Nieto
Good.
looked good, I thought, tonight too.
Yeah, the Long Beach native. Take a drink, everybody. But yeah, I mean that was I mean they didn't get a lot of chances to score, but they looked good tonight. And I think I want to take another couple of games, but tonight I'm on that. We beat LA. They didn't ruin our banner unveiling like we did to them a couple of years ago, which I still am just giddy about.
Isn't that ceremony still? Didn't that just wrap up like a couple hours ago?
Yeah. I think that they just cleaned up the confetti off the ice.
Yeah.
AJ, what's your thoughts on just the kind of the style the Sharks are playing and how that's going to translate out to other teams, these younger, quicker teams?
I like what I saw tonight. Like I said, I think we need to see 5 to 6 games. The rowdy. Wow, I invoked some sort of accent. The roadie. I think this is a blessing in disguise, where you get the quick home opener out of the way, and then bam, you're on a 6-game road. 6 games, right? 5 or 6?
5?
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you're on a 5-game roadie, and the nice part is that it's 2 days. You start the roadie. Yeah, there's a back-to-back, but when you play your final game of the roadie next Saturday, you actually have 2 days off to get back into it. I think that's going to be really good. I think the next week and a half, that's when you find your chemistry. Like I said before, you don't have the distractions of home and home life and relatives and family and all that stuff. You can just focus on practice and
the bonding, right? I mean, the bonding of the lines.
Hopefully nobody takes them on a curling trip during this. We remember how that all went down with Ron Wilson back in the day. No curling, but let's get them bonding. Let's get them finding some chemistry.
But if you remember about Ron Wilson, is that he was trying to make a cake.
Hunty-yo.
He's right now what
he should have baked a pie.
Yeah, he's Peter DeBoer's baking a pie. Hashtag it, baking a pie.
Baking a pie. If
So
you guys don't know what we're talking about, you're gonna have to look into the archives of Wheel of Fortune. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Hanta yo, baby. Yeah, I just want to see them to get find that chemistry when they're on the road. No curling. Let's just practice. The one I don't want to say negative, but the one thing that I do think requires some chemistry. I thought the second line power play tonight didn't, was having a hard time finding their spot. And like I said, that's that chemistry. It's going to take some time. It's very rare to find it like that. It's going
Yeah,
to take some time.
and I'd like to also see the PK as well. I thought that they did a really good job pushing to the perimeter and stuff and pressuring the puck handler. That was a hell of a shot by Toffoli. I mean, nobody's going to
Yeah.
stop that. So I don't blame the PK for that one. But you know what? I do, the proof is in the pudding, so to speak. I mean, we have to see what this PK is going to do.
I'm
Has to be
surprised
better.
Dan Boyle didn't hold a press conference saying, "Jones, you got to hug that post, bro."
Exactly. But they've got to be better than 20th place. I mean, if this team has real aspirations of getting back to the Cup final and winning a Stanley Cup, got to be better than 20th place. Just quickly,
Seeing on Twitter, Kings fans giving Setaguchi shit about his performance tonight.
he was good. I mean,
Well,
he was all over it.
well, and the fact isn't it like his first NHL game in like 2 or 3 years. I mean,
2 years,
yeah, okay.
2014.
His first game in 2 seasons, and it's like really an opening night in his old barn where he knows half the team on the other side. Come on, Kings fans.
All right. Well, it looks like Vili Esmeroma is now going to add another thing to the Pucknology lexicon. We can add it to Cam Ward this bitch. It's
Uh-oh.
now going to be hug the post.
Hug that
So,
post, baby.
quickly, I just want to say we're probably going to have the 5-minute warning here till we head off. So, if you guys have any quick questions, we'd love to take them. We normally reserve some time in the show to take questions. So, please put a hashtag Pucknology AD in that chat so I can see it and we can bring it up.
On Twitter or in the Google chat, either one.
Yep, either one. Hit us up anywhere you can. And let's
Because
just.
we're lonely here. We like to hear from you guys. Most of the time, I'm in my dungeon, as it's called on Twitter, and all we do is watch hockey. So please join us in a nice, pleasant conversation. So hashtag us.
Yeah,
Hashtag taking the
us.
pie.
Quickly going over the schedule. Saturday, October 15th, the Sharks are in Columbus. That's a 4 p.m. start. Next game after that, we've got a Monday at the New York Rangers, October 17th. That's at 4 p.m. again. And then we go to the Islanders, October 18th. That's a 4 p.m. start. That's Tuesday. And then we have the rematch of the Stanley Cup final. That's October 20th. We're at Pittsburgh at 4 p.m. So, you'll have Pucknology After Dark coming at you after each one of those games. And you know what? We'll see where this goes. So, William says, if you didn't already talk about it, what did you guys think of Forsland tonight? I thought it was good. Wasn't I mean, it's not Randy and it's not Baker, but I thought he was good. Did you? Anybody else take a listen to the cast tonight? AJ was there.
Yeah, well, I mean, but I heard the last 10 minutes of it at home. I wasn't overly impressed. I'm a little. The fact that we heard Hahn and Baker call a lot of NBC games last season, I'm a little surprised they didn't go with them. I mean, they were clearly there for the opener. I saw them. But yeah, a little surprised they didn't go with them. I thought that was a missed opportunity.
Mindbender X, Jeff Zatkoff did not start tonight. It was Jonathan Quick and somebody else asked how he was hurt. Yes, it was a groin injury, and he's having an MRI tomorrow.
Don Trump came in and grabbed him by the.
Yes, grabbed
Somebody was throwing a hissy fit, and he wanted Pavelski's autograph. We all know this is the typical type of Jonathan Quick stuff. And I'm gonna say this is that the fact that people still think that he's the best American goaltender, I'd give that edge to Bishop.
Dude, wouldn't it be great if Jones sustained that injury when he was going after Pavelski?
Oh, you mean quick?
yeah.
You mean quick?
All right, yeah, Quick. Yeah, wouldn't it be great if Quick sustained that injury going after Pavelski? That's
That's
awesome.
what happens when you mess with your captain.
Right?
Yes, the weasel himself.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask this, guys. Okay, so on the road, we got 2 days off at Columbus, day off at Rangers, back to back at Islanders, day off at Pittsburgh, obviously Stanley Cup final rematch, and then at Detroit. 5 games on the roadie. What are they doing? I'm saying 4-1. I think the only game they lose on that roadie is to Pittsburgh.
Gentry?
I'm gonna go 3-2 because I still
Because the
think
Blue Jackets, right? The fucking Blue Jackets.
at some point you're gonna have to see what Aaron Dell is made of, and I feel like whatever game, I think what's the back-to-back where they face, it's who are they doing the back-to-back with? I've totally
It's Rangers and Islanders.
Rangers and
Okay.
Islanders.
I think that you're gonna start Jones against the Rangers, and then you're gonna start Dell against the Islanders, and I think the Islanders might take that.
Gee, I don't know. I mean, what do the Islanders have besides Tavares? I mean, really?
Andrew Ladd,
But Andrew Ladd, he's
and
I
you've
don't know,
got
he's-
Yaroslav Halak coming off of his impressive Team Europe. You know,
Oh, good for him.
I thought, you know what? Talking about a rejuvenation to one's play, I mean, that could be the little bit of a push that he needs to remind himself that he was just so close to being a Stanley Cup contender, and they were, what, the 7th seed that year in 2010? Like, kudos to them. But I will say that, if Yaroslav Halak can stand on his head, I think the Sharks might just, get kind of. I'm not going to say shut out, but I think they are going to get stomped.
Sleepy Mofo on the chat thinks we're all pessimists. He says 5-0.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that too. You know what? I think that this team definitely has the ability to go 5-0, but I'm probably more in the realm of the 3-2. I think that that's a successful road trip. You know what? And then you come home and you're going to play against Anaheim, and that's going to be a big game to see where the California teams kind of all shake out. So,
Hey,
in my mind,
can somebody call Kevin Lacey an Uber, because he just said the Islanders are his dark horse to go to the Cup this year, so he clearly needs a ride home. Somebody get
all right.
Kevin
What
Lacey.
were you drinking, and where can I get it?
Yeah, get Kevin Lacey.
So
an
I
Uber
think somebody
ride.
gave him some Everclear.
Nice.
But
Nice.
yeah, I still think that they could steal that one. I think Aaron Dell, I haven't seen him yet in terms of NHL play. I mean, we kind of got a taste of it in that preseason game where they had a 2-0 lead against the Ducks, and kind of squandered that. So we'll see. I would love it. I mean, if they can lose to the Islanders, I will gladly take them beating the crap out of the Penguins. And you also got to think, the Penguins aren't without their number one goalie in my mind, and that's Matt Murray.
And their number one crybaby as well.
Yeah. So they're with their number 2 goalie, which is Fleury, and I mean they still got the depth. They still got Malkin, they still got Kessel, but I still think that the Sharks could take it, but I think that the Penguins will cry their way to another victory.
All right. Well, I think we'll take a look at this last question, and then we will call it a night. From Bleeding Teal, with as weak as the Kings' depth is, does the mostly dominant Shark performance surprise you tonight, or is it just par for the course? Look, when you've got a banner-raising ceremony where you're kind of got that you're on your feet for a little while, but you're not playing, and you got to kind of wake up for it, and you're playing against one of your biggest rivals, I think any win is a good win in my book. I will say that they looked rusty in that first 10 minutes, and had they continued that, they probably would have lost. So it was good to get it out of the way. They played the way that I expected them to play in the last 50 minutes, and they pressed in the last 5 minutes to get another goal, which is another really good sign. So in my mind, it was a good game, and it was a good game to get the rust out.
No, I feel it was a good win. All the pressure was on the Sharks in this game. a lot of people are picking them to win the Pacific this year. There's a few that think that it's going to be the Sharks and LA battling each other to win the Pacific this year. But this, I mean, I don't know if I'd call it. It's hard to call game 1 of 82 a statement game. But for me, all the pressure was on the Sharks because it is their home opener. They're playing their vanquished, their nemesis, and it's at home. We know the difficulties that the Sharks had playing at home last season. Obviously, it was a little different in the playoffs. Their home record got better, but it's, to me, all the pressure was on the Sharks to really start this season off on the right foot. And LA looked okay, but like Landy said, Sharks kind of started off a little slow, a little flat-footed, and we've seen that a lot last season. But hey, they got it together, and they put LA, right where you want them, in the ground.
The Sharks start off on top of the Pacific Division. Gentry, I'm going to let you finish it off, and we'll call it a day.
You mean I think that tonight's game was a nice tease of what this team could be for the later for the remainder of the season. It shows that they're hungry for it. They've gotten past that hurdle of being called quote unquote playoff chokers, and now they are Western Conference champions. And I think they said, well, we've got the tease. We want the whole damn thing. We want that cup. And so far they came out like gangbusters tonight, and they made a bit of a statement. So let's see if the best road team from last year can continue the trend, because if they continue their road trip in a good way, and then they can find that winning magic at home, we're in for a magical season from the boys in teal.
All right. Well, I just want to finish it off with one more shameless plug. Pucknology After Dark is sponsored by Audible. With our affiliate link, you can get a free 30-day trial. This helps us out. We can get Puck Guy a internet connection that's not AOL.
Oh, I think Puck Guy can afford an internet connection now.
Puck Guy can afford it.
They have a huge selection of some awesome books, like Mr. Hockey, that's Gordie Howe's book, 1984, and Lord of the Rings. Go to audibletrial.com/PAD to sign up. You get a free audiobook that's yours to keep. Your help supports the show. If you're wondering where your money goes, we have our advertising policy linked in the description. And that's audibletrial.com/PAD. Again, check out the Pucknologists. Check out Pucknology Writers Room. And Pucknology After Dark is now on iTunes as a total audio experience for you. And also, AJ's shameless plug, the Pucknologist will be, I guess, a raffle, or not raffle, I guess it's a question answer segment. Will get you a chum jersey.
We're gonna come up with something in order to give this away to one of our Pucknologist listeners, but you have to be following at Pucknologists, and it'll be on let's be honest, it's probably going to be something weird, but it's going to be on one of our upcoming shows. We'll figure out a way to hook up one of our loyal listeners with that chum jersey.
And if Chump can hook me up with the jersey, if the guys at Meritzen and Gordon Biersch can hook me up with one of those Chum jerseys, I would greatly appreciate it. I have a whole case of it in my room right now. I will gladly promote it. Just send me one of those things. They're beautiful. Thank you.
And we will, and the new episode of the Pucknologist should drop Friday morning this week. So 30,
yeah, look for it. Look
38 hours from now.
Also, take a look at pucknology.net, where you can find all of our Sharks content. We've got some new writers coming on. We've got Anna
Q?
Yeah, Anna Q.
And well, we need to have Anna on just so she can tell us how to pronounce the name.
Yeah, we've got Anna coming on, and we've also got a couple of other writers who have joined us as well. So we're cranking out content like no tomorrow. I believe Gentry has some stuff in the works too.
I made my debut with my Dan Boyle article. I held back my tears and my man crushery on the article. Kept it very professional.
And heads up to shout out to Slurpy Jack for getting an article on
I,
Pucknology.
Slurpy Jack, I don't know what he did. I don't know what kind of blackmail he used to get Puck Guy to get him writing credentials on the site, but he's got them. And
We need to get him a copy editor. But hey, shout out to him. Shout out to
uh,
him.
paging Ian Reed, if you can get us a copy editor, thank
Oh,
you.
I'm down. And hold on, let me address a couple of quick things on the chat. Yes, I know that I need to put something on the bland teal wall behind. Yeah, okay. Back in the day when I was at the old house, yeah, you got to see, I don't know, shelvings and a closet or something. Now I have this beautiful teal wall, and I got people on here going, "Yeah, your wall's too blank, man. You need something back there." Dude, I stopped at the framing store today. There will be something behind me very soon. The best part is that somebody said they were OCD because they saw a little bit of gray right over here. They said, no, it needs to be all teal. This was making them OCD and crazy because of this little strip. So, okay, we'll do the next shot. How's this? Is
Yeah,
this
no,
better?
definitely better. Definitely
Is that
better.
cool? Little
Yeah.
little depth. There's not going to be any OCD people losing their minds over this.
Hey, it's not laundry, but it's good enough. All right. Well, from everybody at Pucknology After Dark, everybody at Pucknology.net, the Pucknologists, and Pucknology Writers Room, I am Eric Landy. That was AJ Strong and J. Alexander 46. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time.